Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky announced that October was Russia's deadliest month yet, with an estimated 25,000 troop loss, primarily due to Ukrainian drone strikes. Speaking in Kyiv, Zelensky highlighted a significant breakthrough in drone warfare, while also cautioning about ongoing Russian offensives near Pokrovsk. He outlined Ukraine's pressing challenges for the upcoming winter, including critical energy and funding needs. His briefing conveyed a message of resilience, diplomacy, and national unity as Ukraine braces for a harsh month ahead amid relentless Russian assault. The continuous fighting along the front lines, particularly in the Donbas region, underscores the severe conditions and the strategic importance of maintaining international support and domestic resolve. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has faced accusations of a glaring lack of gratitude from Polish President Karol Nawrocki regarding Poland's consistent support during the war with Russia. Nawrocki, speaking in Bratislava alongside Slovak President Peter Pellegrini, highlighted unresolved disputes straining relations between Warsaw and Kyiv. These include the World War II-era Volyn massacre perpetrated by Ukrainian nationalist forces and current tensions over Ukrainian grain imports affecting Polish markets. Meanwhile, fierce fighting persists around the strategic eastern city of Pokrovsk, with Russian forces aiming for full control. Ukrainian officials acknowledge the difficult situation in Donbas, but maintain that troops are still actively fighting and deny any encirclement, releasing footage of soldiers at Pokrovsk City Hall as evidence of continued resistance. The brutal conditions on Ukraine's front line are significantly impacting efforts to recruit new troops, though some individuals remain committed to fighting for their country's freedom. Sisters Yana, known by her name, the Guerre Demon, and Nastia serve in the Ukrainian army as drone pilots. Yana, a 23-year-old mother of two, volunteered for military service after her then-husband refused to go to the front, having previously worked in a slaughterhouse after maternity leave. She balanced 2 days on duty at the front with spending time with her children in Pavlograd, illustrating the personal sacrifice made by those serving. Russia, conversely, has claimed mass retreats and desertions by Ukrainian forces, with a Russian official asserting that Ukrainian defense crumbled in Uspensovka as Moscow's troops advanced into the village in the Zaporizhia region, following Kyiv's alleged strikes on a Russian oil refinery in Volgograd. The battle for Donbass continues to be a defining aspect of the war 3 years into Russia's full-scale invasion, with Pokrovsk emerging as the latest flashpoint. Russian President Putin refers to Donbass as Russia's historical homeland, while Ukrainian President Zelensky has vowed never to surrender. With 80% of Donetsk reportedly under Russian control and vast critical mineral resources at stake, Donbass remained the deadliest and most decisive battleground. Amidst these developments, the UK is reportedly preparing to deploy troops and full military capabilities to Ukraine as part of a post-ceasefire peacekeeping force, with British officials confirming readiness for deployment, potentially involving air and ground units and billions in equipment. This move is contingent on a US brokered peace deal, with planning including the possible use of Ajax armored vehicles and a multinational coalition. While framed as support for security and reconstruction, Moscow viewed any Western deployment as a severe provocation that would likely trigger heavy retaliation. Since the initial days of Russia's full-scale invasion in February 2022, thousands of foreign nationals from various backgrounds and countries have volunteered to join the fight for Ukraine's future, many having no prior connection to the nation. These individuals, including politicians and gemstone hunters from the UK to Australia, have joined the International Legion, driven by a desire to assist the country. Their commitment highlights a global response to the conflict and a shared sense of purpose among those who believe in Ukraine's cause. Their involvement provides a unique international dimension to the ongoing war, demonstrating solidarity that extends beyond national borders and traditional alliance. The diverse backgrounds of these volunteers underscore the global impact and emotional resonance of the conflict. Accounts from captured Ukrainian soldiers reveal severe hardships and chaos on the front line, with reports of units collapsing under relentless shelling. These captives described enduring 7 days without food, water, or medical aid, forced to hide in basement amid the wounded and deceased, cut off from supplies and reportedly abandoned by their command. They face the grim choice of surrender or death. Their testimonies highlighting the desperation within encircled battle zones. Further explosive claims from POWs include allegations that Ukrainian UAVs deliberately targeted their own troops attempting to flee battle positions, and descriptions of field littered with uncollected bodies. One captured soldier claimed he was forcibly conscripted without proper training, adding that British-trained instructors provided only theoretical lessons without practical combat preparations. These shocking testimonies raise serious questions about command discipline, morale, and Kyiv's battlefield strategy, as Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky also warns of a significant Russian troops buildup near Voronezh in northeast Ukraine. The European Union has caused outrage by announcing substantial fines against Poland, Hungary, and Slovakia for their actions in protecting their farmers and national food security. This move has sparked debate over whether these nations are asserting their sovereignty or defying EU central control, with many critics viewing it as another instance of Brussels' overreach and a growing division between Western elites and Eastern European independent stance. Separately, DRM News is providing live coverage of a bilateral lunch hosted by US President Donald Trump for Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban at the White House. This meeting, scheduled for 16:45 GMT, is critical for Orban, who aims to secure a waiver from US sanctions on Russian oil, a resource Hungary heavily relies on. Obtaining this waiver is vital for Hungary's economy, especially as Orban's popularity is reportedly declining in favor of the opposition, as highlighted by Philippe Turtle of France 24. Discussions between President Trump and Prime Minister Orban are expected to focus on energy policy, exemptions from U.S. sanctions on Russian oil, strategies for a potential U.S.-Russia summit to resolve the Ukraine conflict, and expanded trade in technologies and defense sectors. Analysts suggest this meeting will deepen the U.S.-Hungary alliance, potentially impacting NATO unity and European energy security. During their joint appearance at the White House, both leaders adopted a united stance on ending the war in Ukraine. Trump hinted at future meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin, noting Orban's understanding of Putin, and predicted the war's end in the not-too-distant future. Orban, calling Hungary and the United States the only pro-peace government, accused Brussels of prolonging the conflict, stating European leaders misunderstanding the situation and mistakenly believe Ukraine can achieve victory on the battlefield. President Trump and Prime Minister Orban reportedly laughed when asked about Ukraine's chance of winning the war against Russia. During their press interaction, Trump asked, "So, you said Ukraine can't win?" To which Orban shrugged and replied, "Miracles can happen." This exchange occurred amid increasing global debate on the conflict's future and Western sanctions against Russia. Orban's also sought an exemption from new U.S. oil sanctions, though Trump confirmed he had not yet granted. This meeting highlights significant divisions within the West regarding Ukraine, sanctions, and Europe's energy crisis. The discussion underscored the complexity of European energy security and U.S. foreign policy, as well as the strong bilateral ties between the U.S. and Hungary. U.S. President Donald Trump also sharply criticized Democratic messaging on affordability, labeling it a con job and arguing that rising household costs, including groceries and Thanksgiving meal, contradicting Democratic claims of improving economic conditions. He referenced Walmart's assessment of higher holiday meal price under the Biden administration as evidence of broader inflation concerns, and accused Democrats of misleading voters with inaccurate economic narratives. Separately, Donald Trump reacted sharply to Nancy Pelosi's retirement announcement, calling her an evil woman and a liability to the country. He asserted that she did a poor job, describing her departure as a great service to America, and highlighted her role in his two impeachment. Their decades-long rivalry resurfaced with this announcement, emphasizing the deep political division between the two figures. If you have made it this far, congratulations, you have unlocked the truth. I want to ask you a quick question though. With the UK preparing a potential peacekeeping force in Ukraine, do you believe UK PM will actually send his troops? Or this is just a bluff just to appease the social media? And why? Join the debate. We want to hear your insightful opinion on where this is all heading in our community. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Like the video, hit the notification bell, and most importantly, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.